Hello, everybody. This week's video is going to be about the Soviet Union. Well, it's not called the Soviet Union directly. A Soviet Union is considered a part of a much larger state, but Soviet Union's involved, the Soviet Union's in control, so it's basically just a fancy Soviet Union. With that said, let's get started. The Eastern Bloc Soviet Independent State, or EBSIS. Now, I'm going to call it the Soviet Union. That's basically what it is, and it's going to be much easier to refer to it as that throughout this video. The Soviet Union and Eastern Bloc nations suffered great losses along with the rest of the world at the hands of the Zentradi fleet. Yet, the Soviets were also extremely fortunate, as several major cities suffered relatively minor casualties. Lindenberg, Moscow, Berlin, and Warsaw are among the fortunate metropolises. Now, what does this mean for the rest of the world? It means, especially in the fact this is still the Soviet Union, it means the rest of the world is at not a disadvantage, and you'll see why in a minute, but still to the rest of the world, the Soviet Unions are still a threat. Not necessarily a prevalent threat, but still a threat. The Soviet Union does what it wants, even in this game. Today, Germany, Poland, and Russia comprise the United Eastern Bloc, the largest and most stable of the independent nations. This is very important, as if it wasn't, it wouldn't make for a good plot point in both the show and the game. Like an excellent example, even though I said before in my last video that I would love to do most of my campaigns in Africa, you'll find most of my campaign will involve the Soviet Union in some form or another, even if it's just as, oh, look, they were here. Because they make for both an excellent bad guy and an excellent plot motivator. Because even if they aren't the bad guys, they can really motivate the plot through a lot of the stuff that they're going to be doing. Technologically, most of the cities and developed areas are about equal to the mid-1980s. Manufacturing capabilities are a bit less, about the 1960s. Remote areas are on par with the 1930s, and in some areas, back to the peasant farms and nomadic tribes. Now, does this mean the Soviet Union does not have mechs? No, because the Soviet Union is a potential hotbed for trouble. Recent indications reveal that they are building a supplemental Zentradi army, complete with mecha. The Soviet mecha. Although the Soviet Union lacked the facilities, knowledge, and protoculture to build their own mecha, they have become quite adept in repairing damaged black market mecha. Existing Soviet RDF mecha. Note, all RDF mecha are rebuilt and suffer from the following penalties. Minus 100 MDC from the main body, minus 25 MDC from the reinforced crew cockpit, minus 20% of the maximum speed, and a shortage of missiles. The Soviets have 18 Excaliburs in service, 7 of which are fully operational. They also have 53 Gladiators, 20 of which are fully operational. The Mach 2, they have none in service, which I personally wish it would say if they at least have some that are trying to be repaired or they have the parts of them. It'd be really nice to know, because the Mach 2 is a really devastating mech, and I would like the Soviets to have at least one personally, so that's probably something I'd DM in. The Soviets have 38 Radar X, 6 of which are fully operational. One of my favorite mechs, if you remember from one of the previous videos. The Spartan, none in service. Once again, I wish they'd say if they have at least some trying to be repaired or something. The Soviets have 7 Robotech fighters, Type B only, all 7 of which are fully operational. The Zentradi mech of the Soviet Union. The Soviet state has been actively recruiting Zentradi either as part of their existing army or as a new branch of the Soviet armed forces. Something I find very interesting is how many Zentradi have been recruited and how quickly they have been recruited. I believe it's because the Soviets do a very similar thing to the Robotech masters in the way they treat and handle the Zentradi, making the Zentradi feel basically at home. The Soviets have 900 fully operational tactical battle pods. They also have 50 fully operational light artillery battle pods, 32 fully operational recon scout pods, 20 fully operational officers battle pods, 17 fully operational male power armor, 5 fully operational female power armor, 14 fully operational fighter pods, 48 fully operational reentry pods, 1 undamaged theater recon scout pod. And with all that, the Soviets are now officially a force to be reckoned with. Now, I didn't list off the non operational pods. However, the Soviets have over 1,200 Zentradi pods total. So the Soviets make for a fairly decent enemy slash antagonist, however you want to play it in your game. There are also plenty of Zentradi around the world which make for a enemy or antagonist as well. It all depends on what kind of campaign and what setting you want to play your campaign in. And that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. And next week's video is going to be about land, sea, and air vehicles, along with the equipment the Soviet Union possesses. Hope to see you there. Have a great 2 weeks.